Hello boys and girls, and welcome to this fourth episode of Cuisine Hacker. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make some pâté chinois, a delicious Canadian recipe from the time where we were building the Trans-Canadian Railroad. And now let's start with what takes most time to cook. It's going to be boiling the water, preheating the oven, preparing the meat, and the delicious vegetables. Start with this water. The regular recipe for Chinese pâté is actually just potatoes, some grounded meat, and usually it goes with canned corn. But today I'm gonna improve the classic because I think the classic is a little bit lacking. I mean, I love corn, but just corn, nah. Mixed vegetables and some California blend. With this on top, it's gonna make it more nourishing. The way a pâté chinois is made is actually very simple. 1/3 of grounded meat, 1/3 of corn, but this time vegetables. And then you put 1/3 of mashed potatoes right on top to close the deal. And you can even put some little seasoning in there, make it all fancy. As for the meat, you can pretty much season it however you want it. What I'm gonna do is just put some salt, red pepper, as always. And I'm gonna put some cumin. I love this. If you'd rather put spicy barbecue or whatever pleases your palate, just go for it. You want to cut your potatoes kind of small, just for it to cook faster. Oh, yeah. Usually, if you want stuff to cook, you have to turn the oven on, and send some heat. If you try to cook things solely on faith, you might be disappointed. So some potato fell on the floor. A lot of people go by the 3-second rule. I go by the I don't give a fuck rule, and I just wash them, you know. There we go. I'm gonna give you a little tip to easily cut something that's not easily cuttable. Very simple. You just cut a little piece of it so you have a straight surface, and then it's gonna stick more and it's gonna be easier to fry. Then you can split it in two. There we go. Flat surface again. Easy peasy. Good. This is now cooking for real, not solely on faith. I'm even going to show you a little tip to extend the length of your meat. You don't have to do it, but I love to do it. So you just put a little bit of instant oatmeal. It's going to help it stay a little bit together, and it's going to make some more. You don't need to cook the meat a whole lot. Once it's got to a nice little brown, everything is pretty much cooked. You can put it right into the pan. So the story of the Chinese pâté is actually pretty interesting. It's not actually made by the Chinese, but it has to do with our Chinese friend who came to build the Canadian Railroad. As they were working across Canada, there was full of rivers that were full of salmons, delicious, gorgeous salmons. But when you eat something for so long, at some point you're pretty fed up with it. So they didn't want to eat salmon anymore. They were fed up with it. They just came up with this. Grounded meat, corn, and potatoes. And they just serve it like this. And it was an instant success, which made it through the century. And now here we are. When I was young, it was a pretty traditional meal here. We usually ate it with ketchup. I'll top this because I think it's going to be good enough. The rest is going to cook straight into the oven. Our meat is ready. When you're making mashed potatoes, you just want to check the texture, make sure that it's getting all soft and ready to be mashed up. And we're almost there. I feel they're a little too hard. They're getting soft, but they're a little too hard. While we wait for this, we're gonna fill our pan 1/3 with meat. I'm gonna put some of the veggies straight in the pan just to take off some water, because we don't want it to be so liquid into the final mix. Go. Put this at medium heat. Let's put this nice and even. I can squeeze them with my fingers and they fall into paste right away. Don't do that, you'll probably burn yourself. Just poke them a lot with a fork. So we're gonna take out that water and then add some butter, spices, mix it up, and put it on top. To make some good mashed potatoes, guys, you know butter is better, but it will work with oil. If you don't have any butter, still, you can make it with oil, no problem. Just add a little bit of salt and the spices that you love, and it will be amazing. So actually I'm gonna do a mix of both. So I'm gonna put a little bit of butter,
I'm gonna stop the element. I just wanted to take some water out, but it looks kind of good. I thought it dropped some more water. You could put some olive oil. I think it would give a nice little taste to the potatoes. There we go, a little bit of oil, some basil, and some dry oregano. It's always better to put a little less and add some later than put too much. There we go. A little bit of salt, pepper check. Let's use the potato masher and mash those potatoes. Some people will take the skin out of the potatoes. I don't care at all. Right, so we got some nice mashed potatoes to cover our Chinese pate with. Our vegetables are also ready. No water at all. I thought it'd be way more terrible than this. Let's just put some in. A nice layer of vegetables. Or corn, if you're making the traditional version. So for the potatoes, you want to make a nice layer that covers the whole thing on top. See, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. We're on the right direction. A little bit of corn for the traditional side, but as we go, we want to make things more amazing. Let's make them amazing. Now I'm gonna put le pate chinois, Chinese pate, right in the oven. Since we pre-cooked the potatoes and the meat, we don't need to let them cook for too long. We can just let them in for, I'd say 15-20 minutes. Oh yeah! Here's the recipe. So we got the grounded beef in the bottom, we got vegetables replacing the corn in the middle, and we got a nice stack of mashed potatoes on top to close the deal and make something very complete and nutritious. You can put some cheese on top if you want. Some people are gonna put some paprika and some serve with some ketchup. I made it so spicy that it's gonna be good on its own. I put a lot of cumin in. I love cumin, but if you wanna put barbecue spice or whatnot, just fucking suit yourself, guys. Here's the little classic. Oh, delicious. So very simple stuff if you wanna make a quick meal. Let's enjoy. Bon appetit, guys.